The Shek Report, with Dave Damashek reporting.
Damashek here. Week 10 is through, so let's get right to it. Just remember, players and coaches, don't get angry at me if I call your name. Ultimately, I didn't put you on this list. You put you on this list. Let it begin. At number 5, Clay Matthews in Green Bay. Yeah, commercials and signs all over the stadium are nothing new, but on Sunday, Clay used the hallowed grounds of Lambeau to commit an especially egregious example of product placement for the new Thor movie. Look at him. The long flaxen hair, now a hammer for a hand. All he needs is a cape and he'd be Thor. At number 4, the coins being used for the toss before overtime lately. Listen closely to the ref at the Bengals-Ravens game on Sunday.
The Raven is heads, the NFL is tails.
You hear that? Heads is a Raven. And last week in D.C., listen to this one.
The Redskin logo represents heads, and the NFL logo represents tails.
You can't have the home team's logo as the head. Well, scratch that, I guess you can, but you shouldn't be allowed. What visiting team would ever call anything but tails? Which actually gives me a thought. Shouldn't the Lions and all other teams with a tailed beast for a mascot always call tails? I've given us all a lot to think about today. At number 3, congratulations to Cooper Manning, the only one of Archie's boys not to suffer a pick six at the hands of Tracy Porter. And make some room, Ali and Marino and the Bad News Bears, the rope-a-dope fake spike and hidden ball trick are hereby joined by Tavon Austin's Don't Touch It, I'm Not Fielding It fake out. Let's call it the Ram Sham. At number 2, the Green Bay Packers for not having a better handle on their backup QB situation. Yeah, I feel bad for Seneca Wallace going out so early against Philly. And yeah, Scott Tolzien looked good. But the Packers should know the only place to go for a backup is East Lansing, Michigan, where there's another green-shirted team called the Michigan State Spartans. Now, the school ain't much for turning out successful first-stringers, but when it comes to backups, Michigan State is second to none. Drew Stanton, Kirk Cousins, Brian Hoyer, Jeff Smoker, Jim Miller, Tony Banks, and Earl Morrall are or were primarily backups. In fact, you know what? The school should just change the mascot to a clipboard. Or at least they ought to go from being the Spartans to the Not Startans. More for you to think about. And that brings me to number 1 and this week's brown paper bag of shame, which goes to Kansas City Chiefs critics. Yeah, all the analysts out there who've announced they aren't yet impressed with the Chiefs being 9-0. You know who isn't undefeated? Everyone else. Sorry, by the way, this isn't college. No one's awaiting your vote. Fine, so Andy Reid's guys haven't played the toughest schedule yet. But the Chiefs are on the way to the playoffs, and maybe even a division title. Not bad considering they won all of 2 games last year. So lighten up, you football Scrooges. And speaking of which, Christmas is almost here. I hope you get coal in your stocking. Meantime, though, here's an early gift. It's the brown paper bag of shame. Put your head in it. Till next time, try not to embarrass yourselves.
Shek.